joining us on the AT&T hotline from up in Boston. He'll be making his way down here to Fort Myers later today. President and CEO of the Boston Red Sox, Larry Lucchino. Larry, we got the weather all in order for your arrival later today.
Well, thank you, guys. You've also got a pretty good show all in order for your first debut show.
Not bad.
I heard the Pedroia interview, and I know you had John Farrell on earlier.
Yeah, we're doing fine. Then, and you're going to bring it down, or are you going to raise the level?
You were going to come in.
I'm going to bring it down a little from Pedroia. I thought he was so good, so positive, so upbeat. He had to have a very healthy impact on the people who are listening.
That's true. You got him going for you, Larry. They can say what you want. People can say what you want about the Red Sox. You will always have Pedroia. He's kind of this rock, this little 5'6" 160-pound rock for your franchise. At least you get that going for you.
Well, I think that's right. And he's certainly one of the faces of the franchise, has been, and I hope will be for a long time. You heard what John said about him yesterday, not just the contract, but also the kind of player that he is. So we are optimistic that he's going to be part of the core of this team for a long time to come.
Hey, Larry, in places not called the Red Sox clubhouse, the expectations for this year's baseball team are very, very low. Does that insult you? Are you okay with that? What's your thought on that idea?
Actually, I'm okay with that. My sense is that the expectations or the prognosticators, the pundits, whatever, they have are more often wrong than right. It's a very complicated game, very difficult to project success. I can only point back to the last couple of years and the kind of success they predicted for us in 2011 and the catastrophe that it ended up being. So I take it with a grain of salt. I kind of prefer being the underdog, being the scrappy, hard-charging team that people don't expect much from. I think that's maybe a bit of a competitive advantage, and I think it's if we fall into that category, so be it. I just don't think that these preseason guesses are likely to mean very much.
But you expect a lot from this team. You're not expecting 73 wins?
No, actually, I'm expecting more than that. I'm not going to come up with a specific number. I don't have a crystal ball to look into that says, it'll be X or Y. But I do think there's the core of a very solid team there. And we had, 7 free agent acquisitions this offseason, 1 major trade for a closer. Ben and the baseball operations team took some major steps to make this team better. So much of it will be determined by health. You guys know that. Dustin even alluded to that when you asked him what factors might be important to him. He started with health, and it does make a gigantic difference. I know every team has some injuries, to be sure. The question is, will it reach epidemic proportions and hit key players? And that applies across the board. So it's one of the reasons it makes it harder to predict before the season. You don't know whose rotation is going to be healthy. When we won in 04 and 07, our pitchers pitched on their turn almost every time. I think in 04, no one missed a turn. So that those kind of factors do make a big difference.